Okay, so today I'm going to show you my e-bike that I converted from um, a bike that I had to an e-bike using a commonly found, reasonably priced kit. The bike is now a mid-drive e-bike, and I'll take you through some of the things that I have done. Here in the foreground, you can see this is my wife's Merida, and Merida Espresso. And this bike, the Merida, weighs 25 kilograms. My bike weighs 18.5, or actually 19 kilograms now with the bike rack. And it cost me roughly round about $18 to $1,900, and this bike cost roughly about $3,800, $3,900. So a huge difference in price. Okay, half the price to convert the bike yourself, and I actually surprisingly saved quite a bit of weight. So anyway, let's go through what's on the bike and how I converted it and what made it so light. Okay, so in preparation for the conversion, what I did was I had this 2015 Giant Roam e-bike. So actually, sorry, hybrid bike, and it's a XL size, large size. Sorry, extra large size. I'm 6'1" and a bit, so that fits me perfectly. What I did was I did a few things to make that bike better. I bought Shimano MT 600 wheels. I didn't like the wheels on it. There were some cheap, giant, heavy wheels. So these wheels are a little bit lighter. I got better tires. The tires on stock bikes, especially stock hybrid bikes, are very heavy. Now these tires are not necessarily light. They are still commuter tires. They're V tire company Xylent, and 42 wide. They are surprisingly good in terms of grip, and they're not super light or anything like that, but they're definitely better than what I replaced the bike with. Um, and another thing that I changed was I changed the fork. I took the suspension fork off and went with a steel salsa fork. Now, the reason I did that is hybrid bikes, the forks are generally quite useless. They are very heavy. In going to the steel fork, which is still a pretty hefty fork, is about 1.1 kilograms. That's about 2.3 pounds. I saved a total of 1.5 kilograms, which is roughly 3.3 pounds. So that's a sizable difference to the way the bike handles and rides. And honestly, the way I ride it, for what I ride the bike, what I use the bike for, I didn't need a suspension fork. So anyway, what else I did was I obviously removed the bottom bracket and the old cranks. I replaced the chain, had a new cassette that I had lying around, replaced that. And yes, new brakes. This bike has got brand new Shimano MT 200 brakes. They're really good value brakes. All up costs about $70 for all the whole brakes, the calipers, the brake levers, and it comes in a kit with the brake hoses already attached and bled. So you have to do nothing but bolt it on. To match the wheels, I had to buy new brake rotors. Okay, so basically the bike, for all intents and purposes, is ended up being quite renewed, quite a good. It was in an excellent condition and yeah. So basically, what did I do in terms of what kit did I get? I bought from a local company in Queensland. a company called caprouge.com.au. I'll link it in the description. I bought this kit, and the kit is basically the motor as the Tongsheng TDZ2, a motor along with a 540 watt hour battery. Now this battery is runs is a 36 volt motor, and I mean my whole intention was to keep it street legal, so I didn't want to. I wanted it to stick within the legal 250 watt and 25 kilometers an hour speed limit. So the battery, it comes with all the wiring, and it also comes with this screen. Now I was lucky with this bike because all the cables were basically running outside the bike and underneath the down tube. So you can see it actually helped enormously in keeping everything looking neat. I didn't have to use cable ties on the down tube. I was able to keep the cables pretty neat. I mean, compare it to the Merida, but there are no more cables than on the Merida. I ended up not needing because basically this motor is a torque sensing motor. So I ended up not needing the brake cutouts. So that eliminated having to. I didn't have to add them to the brake levers, and it eliminated an extra, wire going from there to the screen. So effectively, I mean, it was really simple to do. All I did was I removed the bottom bracket. So after the bottom bracket, it was empty here. I cleaned out the threads. This motor these cranks were not attached. The motor basically came with a spindle. The spindle basically went through from the other side, from the drive side, and then this nut here. I just tightened this nut. You can see this is the bits that came out from when I pushed it in from that side. These threads. So then I used this nut. The company provided a tightener, a spanner. I tightened this ring nut. It's quite a high torque anyway, and then I used I attached these cranks that came with it. These are square taper cranks on both sides. So that's basically it, and you can see it's quite a compact motor. It doesn't hang down very far. Looks quite neat and tidy. The cranks are okay, but nothing special. I mean, I would, if I ever get an opportunity, I'll just maybe find some nicer looking ones. But I mean, at the moment, I'm not bothered. This battery, basically what I did was the battery had a cradle underneath, and I bolted that onto the bottle holder screws, and then I used hot glue and glued the whole thing all the way around to stabilize it and make it as strong as possible. And you can see now it's really rock solid. It doesn't rock or move about. And then all else I had to do, there was a connector here, and there's another connector down here. Connected those two. This sensor here had to be joined up, and I had to attach. There's a magnet. This magnet here. Had to attach that onto the spoke. This magnet goes around. As it goes around, it's sensed by the sensor, and this sensor then tells the brains of this whole motor what speed the bike is going at, and that's basically it. Now, like I said, the bike is, it can easily get up to the legal limit of 25 kilometers an hour. No problems there. So far, I estimate the range is around 200 kilometers. That's at the lowest setting, but even basically I've extrapolated what I've done. The maximum I've ever done is let me show you the so you turn a switch on here. So the maximum I've ever done is 65 Ks in a day. And when after done 65 Ks, I've lost only one of the 5 bars. So I'm guessing a very conservative estimate is at least 200 kilometers range. Okay, so I'll switch it off. And turn it off here. And it charges pretty fast. I mean, no problems at all. So the whole bike cost me, with all the changes that I did, the wheels, the tires, the brakes, the chain and the cassette, and the kit, it was cost me about $1,800. The motor and the battery were about 1,050. And the original bike was about 350. And then all the other little bits and bobs. So yeah, so that's the bike. And look, like I said, it's a very pleasant to ride. It gets me. I use this bike to basically take me to and from work, to carry my laptop. It's where when I go once a week, I take this bike. It's about a 660K round trip, and yeah, I don't use this bike for when I'm having fun or going out. I've got 3 other bikes, and I have made some videos on my Surly Ghost Grappler and my Surly Bridge Club. So yeah, there you have it. Yeah, feel free to ask me any questions, but the upshot of it really is that it took me less than an hour and a half maybe to get to do the conversion, and it cost me literally half what it costs on a normal bike, on any normal e-bike.